For 30 days straight, usually. People may not realize that. Yeah,
Maybe
not many
off.
days off.
Yeah.
But speaking of sickness, we know that you've had your bouts with some brutal
I was
illness.
down with the sickness.
Right?
Yeah.
It was bad.
Disturbed?
It was disturbing.
Yeah. How many years have you been in remission for?
7 now.
Damn!
And,
Congratulations.
thank
man.
you.
Yeah.
I'll be very, very happy when I get to the 10-year mark. Although I'm pretty sure like everything's fine now.
Mm-hmm.
But, I got diagnosed in 2012, non-seminoma, like stage 2 testicular cancer.
Holy shit.
And there's 2 types. There's seminoma and non-seminoma. And I guess the non-seminoma is like a slightly more aggressive version. So it just happened fast, like within a span of like a few months.
That seems pretty young.
I was 20 when it happened. So
Wow.
I just turned 20. I'm trying to think. 20? No, I was 21. I just turned 22 in the middle. So I had to go through chemo. I had to have a few surgeries. I didn't have radiation.
Okay.
Although I don't know which one's the lesser of the 2 evils because it's all bad. But I remember my birthday was like middle April and I was just going through like a whole bout of chemo and I was like, oh, happy birthday to me.
Yeah.
Here we fucking go. But so I got diagnosed. I think it was like January of 2012. I just came home from a tour. I'm pretty sure it was like us and Aegeon. You remember those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I fucking love
The
Aegeon.
vocalist is in The Faceless now, right?
Or
like
yes.
fills
At
in
the,
for
at the
them.
time, there was a different vocalist.
Okay.
Also really good. But I love the Aegeon guys. That was a good tour. It was just like 3 weeks. 5 months before that, I remember. So I was doing Krav Maga at the time.
Okay.
I felt like it was because it's not the reason why. I thought at the time because I started developing something. It was the one day I didn't wear a cup to Krav and I got soccer punched in the nuts.
Okay, so you're like,
soccer
okay.
mom. And then when it happened, I was like, oh, okay, here it comes in the offset, like slow buildup of the pain coming.
Yeah.
I thought initially what happened was I was gonna go leave for Krav, and I remember like just I don't know if it's TMI, but
Oh, no, it's all good.
like a bunch of throbbing elements, throbbing buildup like in my groin on that specific testicle, and
there was actual like pain involved.
Like pain, like a throbby kind of weird. Oh, why is this? Why does my groin feel so like uncomfortable right now, kind of thing? And I remember like just sitting on my couch, and I was like, I should get ready to go, and then it just started happening, and I was like, why does my groin feel so freaking weird? So like I was literally gonna go change, and I went to the bathroom and I checked, and for some reason my left testicle kind of grew a bit in size on like. Average testicle size should be about the size of a grape, if not a little bigger. But this one looked like it grew to a pretty hefty size at the time.
Like quickly? How long did it?
It might have happened over time. But at the time that this happened, it felt like it just was starting at that point.
Right.
But it was like a bunch of throbbing in that area. I couldn't really get up and do a whole lot. So I remember just like, okay, I'm not going to do Krav. I'm just going to ice my groin, I guess, and just hang out.
So you were thinking maybe something got like...
I thought something happened involving like a sports accident, like getting clocked in the nuts by a soccer mom or something,
Totally.
a Krav thing, like light humor. Like, oh, it's like, I'm cool. I just need to be careful or something. So,
Right.
But it just didn't go away, and then...
it didn't go away for that night, and then the throbbing went away, but the size didn't diminish. It stayed that way, and it probably even grew over like the next 5 months. I remember going on tour, doing that Aegeon thing with Fallujah, still having an enlarged testicle. And what scared me the most was I was like, why am I not getting any pain right now? Like, why is it painless, and why is it bulky? And, keynote, check your nuts, guys.
Yeah,
for
I know.
real.
I've actually, I went
And
to the
your
hospital
boobs.
for that.
Yeah, check your boobs and your nuts.
Yeah.
Because I have some growths down there.
You do?
TMI.
That's fine. No, that's fine.
And I went and got it checked out. They did, and I went to they did an ultrasound or whatever on it. They put it's kind of funny when I tell people the story.
Right.
It's like they make you take your nuts out and put 2 towels like to cover everything else up.
And they scan it, right? They probe
and
it.
they put gel on it and like scan it up.
They did exactly that for me too.
Yeah, and so for mine it was like, oh, this is just some whatever. It's like it's hard. I don't know what they call it exactly, but it's just some weird thing that happens to some
gel
people.
thing,
like the growths or whatever. So there's like, you can just leave it or whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. It's not cancerous.
Essentially benign.
Benign.
It's probably fine if you left it, although it wouldn't hurt to get them out either, kind of thing. Yeah.
They didn't even recommend that. They were just like, that's a thing that happens to some people. There it is.
It's very normal. Okay.
Yeah.
So if they weren't worried, then it's a cause for being like, okay, so if they're not worried, I shouldn't be too worried.
Because I was like, okay, dude, I'm screwed here. Because it seems weird, definitely. So
it scared the crap out of you, huh?
Definitely.
Like I want to.
It's been there for a lot of years, though.
Okay.
So anyway.
Yeah. So it was like 5 months before I went on tour, and then I came home, and as I got home from that tour, still nothing seemed to alleviate itself, and I was like, this is absolutely fucking ridiculous. I'm just gonna suck up my pride, like get a checkup, talk to my doctor,
because it's like you're scared to go.
A lot of guys are afraid to talk about their balls as well, or like stuff that's going wrong with themselves. It really? It has to do. Yeah, it's a thing.
So I sucked it up, and I just set an appointment. Everything else about me was totally fine. Like I was doing Krav and just gym workout stuff, and I was a young dude. Like my doctor was like, yeah, you're healthy. What's going on over here? Something about your groin. I was like, yeah, you want to take a look? Like, because I can't figure out.
That is weird because you're so young at the time.
I'm so young, and I don't know anything about anything because, so I was like, could you just take a look at this one trouble spot around my groin area? It's essentially my testicle, and it seemed to have grown. More TMI. He took a look. He like pulled my pants down, took a look, and he's like, "Whoa!" His first impression was like, "That's pretty big, dude."
Okay.
Let me grab this thing real quick. And he's like, I forgot the unit they put in your ear with the bag and the light. They check your ear during a checkup. He got that, wrapped it with a bag, and he's like, "So there's a really bright light on this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flash this light underneath the testicle. If light shines through, you're okay. Probably like just something came undone, loose liquids. Yeah. Clear it up with antibiotics, like clear you up. You're going to be okay." He shined the light underneath, no light came through. Oh. So that's like a red flag right there. Like, ooh, that's solid. How
did you feel when you didn't see a light
shining through? A little worried because at that same appointment, it now became like an hour and a half appointment where he's like, let's just check. I'm going to take you downstairs to do the exact same thing that you had done. Yep. Scan, like probe your entire area with the gel. Like, I remember when that was all done, the computer was kind of like right next to me. She's like, yeah, like everything's good. You can get dressed. We'll keep you posted. Just keep your phone close by in case anything comes up. Like, cool. And I looked at the computer as I was like getting changed up, and there's like 9 different pictures. All of it was a testicle. You could see my healthy one, normal size, cool, whatever. The big one, like pure black hole, like not just good. Like holy nothing was shining through. It had to have been something mass related. And then as I was driving home, that's when I got the phone call from my new urologist now saying, "Hey, I don't have anything else I can tell you to sugarcoat it, but you've got testicular cancer, dude." Like, jeez. And I like stopped in my driveway. Like on the phone,
freak the fuck out.
Yeah, like I was like,
imagine.
Heart sank, like cold sweats. Yeah. First thing she did say though, she was like, "This is the most common form of cancer men get, so you're not gonna die." I was like, "Okay, that's good to know." That's the first thing she said to me, And she was like, "We've dealt with this many, many times." She said, "You're probably at least a stage 2, hopefully not a stage 3. Stage 3 would mean it went up my entire system and got into my lungs."
That's the problem, right?
That's the scary one. Yeah. Stage 3 and stage 4 is when it gets to your lungs. It's on your bones. It's in your bloodstream. So I was a stage 2. So it was in my groin, and it got into my lymph node area in my groin, kind of like you have lymph nodes towards your back where your spine is. My left ones were enlarged. And they were like, if you don't take care of those, they grow bigger and bigger. They start pushing on your vital organs, and then you can die that way. I was like, okay, that's not good to know. But she's like, "You're a young guy. What we're going to do is we're going to blast the living hell out of you, and you're going to be fine no matter what. Because, again, you're already healthy, strong as an ox, good dude. Like your systems, like your frame for like recovering from all this and going through all the bullshit.
You can bounce back.
It's perfect. Like, this is like this will be like, they were like, this will be an easy assignment for us, but we're going to blast the living hell out of you. Chemo, surgeries, what have you. And they're like, we're going to start. It was like a Tuesday. They're like, we're going to start this Thursday. You come back. We're getting the nut out like right away. So that Thursday, really? I went right back in. I went under the lamps for like an hour, and they just snipped it up. So I have an incision like this big kind of sitting above my groin area where they snipped the cable, and essentially like squeeze the nut up and out, and it pops out your abdomen, and they sew you up, and then that was it. So I was like, oh, cool, at least I have the source of this problem out of my system now. Yeah. That's a nice thing. And I bounced back in 3 days, like just fine.
But then from there they have to do additional
tons of stuff. So that's so the chemotherapy was the one that scared me the most. That's where you have to just essentially sit in a chair. Things are getting fed through your blood vessels, and it's like saline chemicals and like bad shit and tons of fluids. So sorry, I know I'm kind of going on a
I've always
it's a little lengthy, but I'm
sure a lot of
kind of
cool.
Wonder. It's a whole saga, but like I'm always happy to share it because it means a lot to me now. I think I'll be honest, it changed me as a person.
And dude, you might not know, someone might be watching this and it'll encourage them to get
I hope so.
over to a doctor.
Please reach out to me if you guys run into this.
Save a fucking life.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, so that was out. 2 months off, just recover, bounce back, already back in the gym, Krav, having a good time.
Wow.
Being a normal guy.
Yeah.
But they're like, we want you to rest and recover. And then we're going to get you on chemotherapy. We're going to do 4 weeks worth of chemo and 8 weeks of rest. So I would do 1 full week of chemo, like 5 days. One like Monday through Friday. Mm-hmm. And then I get 2 weeks off after that to bounce back. Once that 2 weeks was done, another week of chemo. 2 more weeks after that to bounce back.
So that's like going in every day for a full week.
Every day for a full week.
Wow.
And I was there from like 9 to 5.
Holy shit.
Now I live in Danville, so I went to Kaiser Walnut Creek to get it all done. They had a good team, bunch of moms everywhere. They're just like we're gonna take good care of you, sweetie.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. It was amazing. Tons of juice. It was great.
Oh, there we go.
And so the first week I went in perfectly normal, fine. I felt great. Felt energized even. I was like not feeling any pain, nothing at all. And they were warning me ahead of time, like, yeah, you're going to lose your hair. Like, there's going to be some pain involved. You'll get sick. I saw things online. There's a movie, 50-50 or something.
Oh, yeah,
like
with
that.
Seth Rogen, right?
No, the other dude. He was in, like, Inception and the Batman movies.
Oh, yeah. He was in 10 Things I Hate About You as well.
I think so,
I can't remember his name. I know exactly. He's in 50 Days of Summer.
Yes.
I know all of his movies, but not his name.
But they were like, there's a bunch of things involved.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know who that is.
Also one of my favorite actors too.
He's a good actor.
I love him. Yeah, he's great. But yeah, they were like, you're gonna experience all these things. It's gonna suck, but you'll be okay. You'll get through it. And the first week of chemo, I had none of those effects at all. I think that following weekend, I ate something with hot sauce and I got like bad heartburn, but that was it. And I was like, is this really how it is? Like, this is gonna be. I'll be okay. Like, this is kind of a cakewalk. Like, I'm gonna get by just fine. I got 2 weeks off. I was right back in the gym that following Tuesday and feeling good, hanging out with friends and playing drums, being normal.
Yeah.
I go in for the second week. Bam! Just like 10 trucks hit me. Yeah. Like I can't even begin to explain to you like how much internal pain I was in. But none of it was like. It's so hard to explain.
It's like
I don't know.
It's kind of
like internally things were like it was a war zone, and on the outside I just looked like I was like, like skin blemishes. My skin tone was lightening up. I gained crazy amounts of water weight. I was starting to do the throw up thing like at night because I can't keep food down. You started developing a metal taste in your mouth.
So you feel nauseous too, right?
You're nauseous. Your sleep is bad, and if you sleep, you have hella bad dreams because you have so many chemical imbalances now because of the chemo. And just it hit me really bad, and then the hair started coming out. Like I'll just kind of run your hair through your fingers through your hair like normal, and whole swaths just came out without any pain, super easy. I was pulling stubble off too. Whoa. It ended up becoming a bad habit of me like plucking shit out, That's when it really hit me. I was going to Krav at the time too, and they were like, I tried to go back after that second week when I did kind of bounce back, and they're like, dude, you're not looking good. And I got swollen up from all the fluids, and then I would lose it all because I'm not eating.
Right.
I can barely keep anything else down. I can't keep medications down. I'm throwing up everywhere, losing sleep. Your immune system gets super jacked up. You're super susceptible to flus and sicknesses and whatever. So chemo happened, everything changed. Like I was dying, like not physically dying, but like mentally I was getting so taxated, and it was bad. I was getting to like some really mentally bad places after a while because I couldn't do a whole lot. I had to go through a week of chemo and then sit out and then kind of go back to the gym and play drums. I had to like sideline myself a little bit from Fallujah. Like we did a few shows, but I couldn't like tour with them.
Because so you said it was one week on and then 2 weeks rest for how long?
4 full cycles of chemo. So 4 weeks worth of chemo, 8 weeks of rest. 2, 4, 6, 8.
So that's like 3 months, basically.
About 3 months, yeah.
Which probably felt like fucking forever.
It felt like forever, yeah. And I was also doing this thing where I was driving myself to and from the chemo clinic, and the doctors were like, "You should get your family to drive you," and stuff like that. I was like, "No, I got this."
Yeah, you're trying to keep it together the whole time.
Yeah, retain some sort of independence.
Absolutely.
You know, there was even a time, dude, where they asked me like, "Are you going to school right now? Like, do you have a job? Like, do you have a girlfriend?" I was like, "The school's on the hold at the moment. I'm not doing these show things with the band, and I definitely don't have a girlfriend at the moment." They're like, "Good, good."
Wow.
Like just because you
just
can get
rest.
Yeah, just rest.
Yeah.
Like take time off. You're gonna be like brutalized everywhere you go. You know. So I get through all that. My prognosis after going through the chemo, they gave me like 2 months like 2 months more off to just recover from everything once the cycle was done. And I did a bunch of CT scans, blood work, piss stuff, like check my piss and that kind of thing, because it'll go into your stream, your liquids, your fluids. And they're like, so your current scenario is great. Like it's looking good. However, it didn't alleviate the problem that well with the lymph nodes growing in size. So they're like, unfortunately, we're still going to have a surgery to get those particular ones removed. And I was like, I'm cool with that. Fine. I don't know what to expect, but let's just get that shit out. Like, I'll do whatever it takes. At this point, I was like, I just want everything to get done. I'm going to listen to my doctors, like, no matter what, you know?
Yeah.
So I got 2 months off after that entire chemo fiasco. And then went under the knife. It was a big, long, like strenuous, like 8 hours, they said.
Whoa.
But they had the right doctors and the right surgeons. And they're like, we still got it done. It's fine. Your systems and your internals are going to operate just fine without these certain lymph nodes, especially as time goes on and you recover. And again, you're a young dude. You're going to bounce back great. But I was at that point where I was like, when's that going to be? Because I don't feel like this right now. I've lost like 25 pounds at the time and stuff. So
Wow.
Going to the knife. It was a success. I wake up. It's obviously like a lot of anesthesia, but when you first have a surgery of any kind, as you start to come to, the first few questions they ask you, like, hey, so you're all done. You're great. What are your pain levels right now out of a 1 through 10 scale? So I started feeling some like in the big incision. I was like, it's like a 7. And I kept explaining to her, like, I don't know why, but I can't feel my right arm. I can't feel parts of my like left leg. They gave me the men's equivalent to like an epidural, shot through the spine to dull out pain, essentially. You know, like for you ladies and giving birth.
Yeah.
Because mine was pure abdominal. Like they're gonna split me open. I have a cut like that big. Like
holy shit.
Oh wow.
See it, but it's like right there. And it goes right to my groin.
Yeah.
But then I noticed I'd had no feeling from my right shoulder down, my entire arm, except for my pinky. When you have surgeries, they put those blood pressure clamps on you to check your readings every few minutes. I think one of them was put on incorrectly. So as I was coming to, I think nerve damage was done to my right arm during the whole process. Like this was just getting closed up in a improper way, cutting off blood and circulation to like my right arm. And it was a weird mix of, it's incredibly numb, but also incredibly painful, like internally, you know? So the rest of my body kind of came to, but I was in the hospital for like a week and a half to recover from this.
Oh, wow. That's a fucking long time.
And that whole time I kept explaining to them, like, I can't feel my arm. I can't feel my arm. Like what?
The whole week and a half?
It ended up being like 7 or 8 months.
Oh, really?
That you couldn't feel your arm?
The rest of my, from my right arm from the shoulder down, I could not feel it.
Holy
I was very
shit.
scared because it was leading to really bad like muscle atrophy, motor skill stuff. My strength was down. It was affecting my pectorals and my back, my traps. Clearly my entire arm, you know. And to make matters worse, as they were done and I was in the hospital, they're like, so the chemo didn't work as well as we wanted it to. when you recover, we're going to have you go through some more. And I was like,
are you like, at that point, like, are you fucking kidding me? Dude?
Yeah,
like,
I really was. I was like, you mean this didn't help it? They're like, we have the lymph nodes out. That's a great thing right there. They're like, we're more than confident that if you do a bit more now, or not now, but like shortly after you're done recovering from this, it'll eliminate whatever leftover bacterias and elements that are floating, like free floating bacteria is what they called it, in my cells, in my bloodstream, like my urine, whatever.
Yeah.
So I was at this point I looked like a husk. I was a skinny dude. I lost like 45 pounds. Like I was too much water retention followed by too little. And it was pretty bad. I went home and I was kind of bouncing back a little, but I couldn't use my arm. It was literally like a means of, I don't know if the camera can see it, but part of my PT was, let's put a strength handle in your left hand. Just squeeze really hard for a couple seconds. Cool. And like, it worked great. And then I would do the same thing on the other, and I would barely be able to like, I don't know if you could see on my hand, but
I could see it if you like hold your water bottle.
There a little bit.
So I'd be like, I don't know if you can see my hand move at all. I'm like trying to like mimic it, but I basically would try my absolute darndest to squeeze this pressure clamp in my right hand, and they were like, we're sorry, but barely anything is happening. And I was like, and I'm trying really hard to squeeze, and I can't. My left hand's great, but my brain's telling me to do this thing with my right hand, but my right hand's not doing it. You know?
Well, so at this point, are you like not picking things up or eating or doing anything with your right?
Pretty much everything I had to do from then on for a while. I had to be left-handed, like computer stuff.
And you're right-handed?
I'm a right-handed person.
Jesus.
I'm a right-handed drummer. My biggest concern was like, am I going to get my feeling back? Because I didn't get it back for months and months and months. I was so scared.
So you couldn't drum?
I could not drum at all. Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
It was like a kind of a task to drive left-handed only, you know? Had to like cross over and do certain things with the shaft and like seatbelt like thing and like move my arm in a way. Like it was a very scary time. I thought literally if I'm not getting my feeling back, am I gonna have to get this shit amputated? Like, am I gonna lose my arm?
Because at that point, you're thinking anything's possible. You know, you don't know where it's gonna go.
I have no idea. Yeah. I have no idea, and I'm already defeated by surgery and a whole mess of chemo. So when the chemo for that second bout came after the surgery, mind you, I only had 3 weeks to recover. I should have been recovering for like 3 months, really. They sent me 3 weeks after this was all done, and that was bad. That was like it was. So that one was. 1 week, 2 weeks off for 2 whole cycles. So 2 weeks of chemo, 4 weeks of break.
Wow.
There was one specific day I remember I was the first one at the chemo clinic and I was the last one to leave. And there was only like one more oncology lady, like just making sure I was getting all my stuff done. And I walked so slowly to my car that day. And I was like, I'm not going to die from the cancer. It's probably going to be this chemo because I feel like I'm squinting. I'm squinting everywhere. It was weird. I was squinting everywhere and it's dark out. That's how much pain internally I was in. You know, like husky.
Chronic pain, man.
Chronic weird pain. I'm not eating. I can't sleep. I'm throwing up everywhere. Like, can't keep any of my habit. Like, it was hard to read a book. It was hard to play a video game. It was hard to do anything. I can't be on the computer for a long period of time without being like, what's going on with me?
Oh my God.
It was a bad time.
Well, what do you do to keep sane in that situation? Would you like listen to a bunch of music or?
I don't know what I did, honestly.
Yeah.
I think I powered through it as close to the edge as I could. I remember one day I remember taking a walk with my dog after like I got a corgi named Milo at the house. And a
very corgi Christmas.
Oh yeah, we watched an ad for a movie called A Very Corgi Christmas last night.
It looked like the worst movie ever made.
Or the best movie ever made. You never know. Corgis are great, dude.
Yeah, they're so cute.
But yeah, you're walking him.
I was walking him, and that was like a nice reprieve of like, I feel kind of normal right now because I'm out in the sun, and it feels good to be outside, and it's still daylight. I think it was like coming to, I think it was like summertime at this point. That surgery I had, I was in the hospital during 4th of July. Jesus. So this was like about a month after. So small things like that kind of, I think, helped me trudge through the mud kind of thing. There was also a time too with the oncology department was even like, you could get a green card. You're very deserving to like have marijuana-based medicinal products to help you get through pain. And honestly, now that I'm this old, I kind of wish I did. They're like, you don't even have to smoke it. Just food, like cookies, butter, like elements in which to help you eat again, you know? Because that's clearly the problem.
Help with the appetite.
Yeah. Well, and the pain probably.
And pain and sleep.
Yeah,
you know?
Everything.
Pain suppress, like just everything. I don't know why I said no. I think I was like in this whole, if I'm this far, like what's the point? I'll just get through this the rest of the way it is right now.
Were you taking pain pills or anything like that?
A lot.
Really?
And even like I said, even though I was not able to keep any of them down, I was on like Vicodin and stuff and painkillers of all different types you can imagine, sleeping pills.
Oh wow.
That still wouldn't work.
Everything.
Yeah. Even like I was trying to do gummy vitamins at the time just to replenish vital, vitamins and mineral, just nutrients of some kind, because I'm throwing everything up and all my hydration's going out the door. Like my body's clearly turning into a husk. So even that was like a chore. So
Jesus.
So when you got to the end of that chemo, what was the final recovery?
The 2 weeks off, got a CT scan, more blood work, more piss work, and then I had to sit down and chat with my oncologist. He's like, "You're in remission. You're good to go.
Damn.
Everything's fine."
Fuck.
And at this point, I'm like,
how long had it been from like the day you went in to that point?
From early January, I think, till like end of September, almost October.
Wow.
Holy
so like 10 months.
So 10 months.
Yeah.
Mind you, it could have been much, much longer. Like I'm grateful that it was only within a year of time, And again, he was like, "I know you're feeling awful right now, but you're a young dude. Give it a little bit of time. You're going to bounce back. You'll get your appetite back. You'll get your strength back. I know you're a gym freak at the time. Like you'll get it all back. Just be patient." So for once that was all done, I was like excited. I was happy, but it took some time to like rebound back and like get back to a normal weight. My hair came back curly because the chemicals like react differently in your follicles now. You know, I had weird skin blemishes everywhere. My scars were like super enunciated. And then because this was healing, finally, because chemo slows everything down or halts everything down, this was like causing me to have back problems too in my lower back because I need the incision to heal.
And
this
they
way,
cut
so
through your abs?
Right down the center. And it was kind of morbid, but I actually asked them if they could show me a picture of my insides.
Did they? Did you see it?
They did. And it was just I don't think she took a good picture, but it was
it's blurry.
Yeah, no, it was just a big canvas of weird red spaghetti.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I couldn't really differentiate what was what, but they were like, we cut you open and we either push all your vital organs upwards or we actually take them out on a separate tray right next to your body. And
Jesus.
then, it's gross, but
wow.
Because otherwise they'd have to go through your back, and that's invasive back surgery, and you can't have any of that. You know?
Right.
Yeah,
so. But they were like, we pushed all your stuff up, plucked them all out. Your body's going to operate just fine without these lymph nodes, and we put it all back. So I was just a weird amoeba thing looking,
So then you start to sort of feel after that last meeting a little bit better.
I was a little happier when I heard that, and I was like, I'm actually going to be able to like be normal again.
Yeah.
It took months. I think it took a good 4 or 5 months where I was finally like, I'm coming back too, I think.
Yeah.
I think this is pretty good. I had family on the Hawaiian Islands, on the island of Molokai, and I went to go stay with them for like Christmas, New Year's, and I went ahead of my dad, and she's my aunt at the time. She had been battling cancer like for a big chunk of her adult life. Ovarian cancer, came back twice, and just spotty elements of recurring tumors everywhere. Just always came back. So she was my main source of like inspiration and advice because she's clearly been battling that for like 30 some odd years, maybe more.
Whoa.
So I was like, you're a fighter and I've only got to do this thing for 10 months. She's like, you just do what you can, like I got like I went to go spend time with her and her husband. It was my dad's first wife essentially.
Okay.
So I'm part of my dad's second family. But yeah, after like 4 months, I kind of started rebounding back. I was slowly but surely getting the feeling back in my arm. You have electrical currents that kind of run through everything in your body. So they were aligning back up, and you can tell they're healing because if you're trying to sleep at night where you do your most recovery, gym stuff, fitness, what have you. It's the same for everything else internally too.
When you're sleeping.
When you're sleeping and you're at rest, everything recovers. So I was like getting crazy like electrical shocks through my right arm because those connective tissues that were torn apart were trying to reconnect. And when they're separate and you have electrical currents going through, so I would like wake up in like 2 or 3,
wow.
Yeah, just jolty weirdness coming back, you know. So wow. I'd say about a year after all that happened was when I was like, I'm good now. Wow. I'm back. Wow. I'm kind of back. Like every year that I was off perpetually made me get a lot better and better and better. And I jumped back into the gym 9 months, or I waited a while. I waited like 6 or 7 months. I think after everything was all done, I had to get some motivations from some friends because there was definitely a time where I was like, I don't want to work out. I know.
It must have felt if you feel so like beat down and weak. You know, it's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
And also just kind of starting over again, right?
It was essentially starting over.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I had a lot of good close friends like Tommy Logan and like my band, and you know, shout outs to them for helping me like get through a lot of heavy moments of like rebounding back into like some sort of normalcy, whatever you want to call that, man. You know. But yeah, I'm at 7 months now. It didn't really emotionally hit me all, I think, until the end of that year when I was on Molokai. I think I went for a walk. She had like a bunch of cats at her house, and they like walked with me on the beach. Kind of had like a cool. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
it was actually beautiful. In a moonlight, Hawaiian moonlight at night is amazing.
I've never seen, but I've heard.
It's beautiful. But I went on a walk for myself, and I kind of kindly just let it all out. Like that's when I finally broke down on myself. Like the whole, why did this fucking happen to me? Like, it could have been all people. Like, you know. Like I'm a gym dude. I go on tour playing drums. Like I was a swimmer for a big chunk of my life. You know, like of all things, why? You know, like I was doing the why? Like why me? Yeah. Blaming the world. You know, and I felt like at the time, and I probably had good reason to do so. But I just broke down on that beach. I remember, and I was like that was after I broke down for like a good 5 or 10 minutes. That's kind of like you know what, I'm gonna turn this bullshit around.
Yeah.
That's good, man.
No more.
Some people don't do that.
Yeah, it's almost like that was the cleansing for you.
I think it was.
To see it.
That everything kind of came full circle. That's when I was like, I'm going to, like I don't have a mother anymore. She passed away a long time ago. I don't have a lot of my grandparents around, and like some uncles and aunts and whatever. But I was like, if these people were around right now and they saw me go through this shit, like I would want to do my best to like make them proud. You know? I have a lot of friends that count on me to like wanting to get better. My band counts on me. My dad counts on me. My sister, like I got a lot of people that I care about in my life. And I was like, the best thing I can do right now is turn all this shit around and try to be a good dude and like prioritize like the best elements of my life first, health and fitness, like musical stuff, like, you know, just try and be a good person after all this. Like see if you can't use this bad shit as a fire, like an element in which you can turn things around, turn your life around, be a good person, care about your friends and your family, like put it towards things. Like I was like, I have a lot of fire and fuel right now. Let's see if I can't use that to my advantage, you know?
It seems like you did.
Do you feel like it still makes you look at life differently every day?
Absolutely.
At this point?
Yeah, every day. Yeah. Every day. Yeah. I'm not the same person I was, I think, before all of that. And, you know, I was a different guy back then, and I was a healthy, strong, young dude, just excited for the world and for the future and for music and all these great things that I love about myself. Having been demoralized so lowly from all that was like, I don't have a lot of time on earth, you know? Like, totally. So my favorite quote actually is, you have a gifted amount of time on earth. Yeah. So why not use it, you know, like for the best intentions possible.
Absolutely.
Helping yourself, helping other people, like do your favorite things, be an example of like, you know, good fortune or hope or just longevity. Yeah, just you name it, you know.
Absolutely, man.
So I wanted to I came home from that trip with like the biggest fire under my ass. Like, okay, I'm going to turn things around. Yeah. I'm going to be a good dude. Let's get back into drums. Let's get back to touring. I can't go back to my old life. Like, that's a given, but I can still do some certain things I really love, like still, and then turn everything around and let's go from here. Let's kind of like emotionally start over a little bit.